Welcome back, everyone. This week is episode 6. I want to start off by apologizing. Last week, if you read the description, the first 50 seconds of the episode, I think the computer audio was recording and not our microphones that we record through. So I do apologize. It might have sounded a little weird, but I got that fixed this week. And now to start off right, sex position of the week was Gee Whiz. Hope everyone had a chance to try it. Jeff and I tried it just the other day, and we actually, to tie this in with our story, we got our king-size bed. It's been a lifesaver with our dog hogging the bed. We slowly still shift across the whole bed, but I still have plenty of room in front of me. And that goes with Gee Whiz because we just got the bed frame as well, and we broke in our new bed with Gee Whiz and other sex positions, but Gee Whiz was involved and broke the middle supporting legs.
Yeah, so we built our own additional supports for the bed. So now it should be sex-proof.
Yeah, I guess there weren't enough reviews on it to know that it was sex-proof, but really enjoyed the Gee Whiz position. I know we've done it before. Did you enjoy the Gee Whiz?
Yeah. I do remember afterwards my shoulder hurt, and I don't know if it was related to that or not.
But yeah, I liked it. At the gym, that's why. Don't blame me. Probably from holding my hips up a little bit and a little bit of support.
I liked it.
But yeah, I would like that position a lot more. I also think you could do that anally. We were going to, but then we just switched positions, and then we almost broke the bed, so I got a little shy there. Other than that, with our week, we just talked about getting the bed.
We're talking about getting alpacas with some good friends of ours.
Yep, and starting a craft business as well. So once we have the alpacas, this has nothing to do with relationship, but hey, we're doing it together. We're doing it together, so I guess that is a big deal with relationship. Even this podcast tests our relationship because sometimes we don't want to record it. You have to be in the right mindset to record something. So our next venture is trying to start an alpaca business, and I want to learn how to make it into yarn and sell it at some craft shows because I also make signs, so I can just tie that in there.
And I want to sell their manure because I found it's excellent fertilizer.
Yep, that was a very random one that we came across. But hey, the more stuff we can use from them, the better. I did learn you cannot milk them. It's very difficult, so no alpaca milk for anybody.
Yeah, so the other thing is trying to find a name for the alpaca business. Everything we like, somebody already has, it sounds like.
Yeah, so if you guys have any crafty names for us, please let us know. But otherwise, we had a really good week together, busy week. We like to push each other a lot too, and in a good way. We always go to the gym together, and it was really sweet. We couldn't go to the gym the other day together, so he went first. And when I got to the gym, I leave my shoes there, and Jeff left a little cute note in my shoe that I got to see. And I told him, he said something about being proud that I still made it to the gym on a Saturday, and I told him how awkward that would have been if I would have decided not to go and come across that note a day or two later and be like, oh, I really let you down. But I thought that was very sweet.
Yeah, I like that we go together too.
Yeah, it's really nice if both of you are into fitness, or at least the other one can help you be into it. Like, I wasn't a huge fitness person, but Jeff has helped me become more of one, and it just helps. Working out together is way easier. He motivates me. I don't know if I motivate him as much, but it's nice having that motivator because I don't know how many. I got to look up the statistic. One of the top statistics for weight gain is you become comfortable in a relationship, and that's when people can start gaining weight. And luckily, we liked each other's bodies as they were and both want to improve our own, so it's a good thing we're both the same.
We're both actually in better shape than we started dating. We're more active, too. Like, we play volleyball for sure once or twice a week. We go to the gym together. So, a lot of stuff. Like, we still do stuff on our own, like, obviously going to work and stuff. But it's just nice having those things you enjoy doing together.
Yeah.
And those values matching up. It's important finding someone that you share stuff with.
All right. Now, next up is our date idea of the week. We have done this in the past, and I really want to set it up at our house as well, but liability purposes, this is something you don't tell your insurance company. So if our insurance company ever listens, we don't have this. It's hatchet throwing. So we have a place that's about 45 minutes away from us that does this. So it can be depending on the area you're in, the price will vary. But it's honestly, they put up these boards, they put a bullseye in the middle and put a couple rings for different points, and maybe it's because we're from the Northwoods and we think it's really fun, but you're honestly just throwing a hatchet at a board. You can do overhand. Oh, what is it? You can do overhand. Some people do two hands. Do you do one hand or two?
I don't remember.
I thought two hands was weird, but then I realized it's the only way I could throw it, and I looked ridiculous. But you guys, so much fun, and they also, like the place we went to serves alcohol as well. Not that you need the alcohol, but, it just makes it a little more fun. And you can also do this at home. If you have a axe or hatchet, you just set up some boards on a tree. I mean, you could throw it at a tree, but you guys have to be very careful. Like I said, we're not responsible for this. Any injuries.
We're not telling you to
We're not telling you to do it, but if you wanted to try, be our guest. You can set that up. I know once we went camping with our friends, and they set up a couple logs because someone brought a hatchet, and we were doing that. We had a lot of fun doing that.
It's very satisfying to get it to stick.
That's what she said. So that is our date idea of the week. It can be really fun with friends, too. I know we say do stuff by yourself, but all of our dates, most of our dates can be done with friends as well. Just depends on what you're looking for that week. Anything to add to that?
No.
All right.
Want to do your sex story first?
So, sex story time. My sex stories, I got them from... It's called We Are Dore. I think that's how you pronounce it. There was a slash above the E, so I'm not 100% sure. And they were anonymous stories. And I realized the first two had a theme, so I'm just going with it. So the first one is, a couple of years ago, in an act of trying to be the effortlessly cool girl that all guys instantly fall in love with, I decided to do something that's super unlike me to impress a dude. I went to his apartment to have a drink, having already been out drinking, and when I got there, he offered me a joint. I decided, why not? Let's be clear, I never smoke pot. I have nothing against it, but outside of trying it once in high school and maybe smoking 2 or more times in college, I've just never really bothered with it. So in my drunken stupor, I got super stoned. So here I am, drunk and high, the picture of a model citizen, when things get going with this guy. We're in his bedroom, lights are on, and the sheets are white. We're having great sex when all of a sudden he thrusts at a slightly odd angle and something doesn't feel right. We both look down and there is blood. All over the bed. We both start freaking out. It's not my period, but there's a lot going on.
Oh.
Cut to me sitting on the bed with my hips under a pillow trying to elevate my vagina while he's trying to get the blood out of the sheets. But it's a lot of blood and we're both pretty messed up. He looks up at me and his face goes totally white and he runs to the bathroom where I can hear him start to vomit. 5 minutes later, I'm right behind him with my face in the toilet and blood, now more of a trickle, running down my leg. After frantically trying to decide if we needed to go to the hospital, the bleeding stops and we eventually fell asleep. Here's the best part. We're married now. Anyone that still wants to date you after a night like that, let alone marry you, is definitely a keeper.
Okay, that story was a major letdown. It's like a mystery that didn't say what happened.
I know. I don't know what happened. I think he just hit her wall too hard. I really don't know.
Ow.
But what it reminded me of was, I don't think we shared this with you guys yet, was the crime scene story of us. So I recently got my IUD birth control out, and it's a mystery of when your period comes at that point because I haven't had it for 5 years. And Jeff and I are having sex, and I warned him about this, and we said we'd be both fine with period sex, but I need to know I have it, so I'm ready. And we were having sex, and we didn't notice anything. We've switched positions. There's no blood. All of a sudden, I came, and I remember it being more wet, but it was fine. We finished, and I looked down, and could we see it before I dismounted?
I don't know, but you're like, my God, it looks like I murdered your penis.
It did. It was a huge crime scene, and I freaked out, told him not to turn on the lights.
So, of course, I turned on the lights and stared at it and didn't care.
And then he jokingly reacted as if he was in a horror movie. It was very traumatizing, but he's fine about it. And then I got my actual period not too long after, and he was still fine with it. Although I wasn't, because I wasn't used to having it. So
we just went to the shower.
Yeah. Shower sex is great when you have your period, you guys. Not that you wanted to know all this, but that was what it reminded me of. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I don't like how they don't know where it came from. I mean, where it came from was clear, but how it just hit her too hard.
Makes me cringe, like, ouch.
Yeah. All right, what do you got for us?
So this is just a random memory, which was yesterday, by the way. How we've talked about body farts before in the past. And we had some drinks yesterday, and we're on the bed. I don't even think we started making out or anything. We just like right away jumped to like, hey, let's 69 and lay on our sides and stuff. And I know I pulled you like tight to me, and just we had a huge body fart, which is really interesting when you're 69 because you're like, I swear that was a body fart.
Yeah, it was like my groin area against his chest, neck area. So it was right in his face. Oh my gosh.
It was funny. We laughed for a little bit and then
it didn't
continued.
stop. I was going to say it didn't stop our sexy time. It just interrupted it.
So doing some research, looking for stories, I actually learned something. And being a guy, I should have known this already. There is a thing on Reddit called, guys, how do you get rid of your boner quick? And there's like your stuff, like the normal stuff talking about like picture an old lady or something like that. Okay. Then there's like the whole like tucking into your waistband, which I apparently learned. I assumed all penises were bendable upwards. Some people apparently can't bend theirs up. They can bend them down, like their skin's more elastic one way. Oh, so funny. I learned that. But then I also learned that some people, like they're recommending that you flex your arms or your thigh muscles because the blood gets diverted. I don't know if that's true or not, but apparently that's what people are doing.
We'll try it after the recording. And try it now. I'm kidding. Speaking of penises and yours, I said get a boner right now. That's why I went to this.
Okay.
I forgot to mention this in our last episode, but Jess. Hey, Jess. Jeff was fully naked through the whole recording of our last episode because I think we had sex and then we walked out to record and he just decided not to put clothes on. And I forgot to share that while we were recording, so I'll just share that now. He was completely naked. And then just like 5 minutes ago while we're recording, he flashed me his penis. So, I'm just seeing it all the time.
Yeah, it's not flattering because it's a penis, but... All right, so I have one actual story. And the story itself is kind of funny, but it's the writing that makes it really good. This is also on Reddit by The Great Pinguini.
I like the name already.
And they write, about 10 years ago, I took my girlfriend to a small bed and breakfast in Harper's Ferry, Virginia for the weekend. It was really pretty up there, and being so far away from the city, you could see the Milky Way at night. So we're taking a drive around dusk when my girlfriend spots an old Civil War cemetery, which automatically, you think sex when you think cemetery.
Yeah, it's the first thing you think of.
We stop, get out a blanket, a bottle of wine, and my big Maglite flashlight, so we can find our way back to the car. Needless to say, darkness and drunkenness combine well, and we start boinking away on old Caleb's burial plot.
Oh my gosh.
After I give her the best 20 seconds of her life, we're just laying there naked, enjoying the stars in the warm summer night, when a carload full of teenagers pulls up and starts walking through the cemetery. Says probably to do what we were doing. They're walking straight at us. The girlfriend starts to panic because all of her clothes are hanging on some headstone 4 graves away, and we're completely starkers, which I've never heard, but I'm assuming means naked. I tell her to sit back and watch the show. It's pitch black, so I figure that the kids' eyes haven't yet adjusted to the night. They were 10 feet away, obliviously coming straight at us. Just as they are 5 feet away, I jump up totally naked, turn on my 5D cell Maglite right into their eyes and yell, DAA, stop right there. You're under arrest. Well, they scream like a bunch of 4-year-olds and bust ass towards their car, flying off in a cloud of dust. That's when I turned to my girlfriend and treated her to another 25 seconds of pure ecstasy.
Ooh, 5 more seconds this time.
Says, on the second round, I go the distance.
Oh my gosh.
And then somebody writes, 25 seconds? Come on, it's not meant to be a marathon.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I thought he was just going to flash them his body, and they still would have ran because they're like, oh my god, a crazy naked man in the cemetery.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, but I like the writing of that one.
That was a good one. That was from Reddit, you said?
Yeah.
I like that one. Okay, my last story, it goes off of my first theme, so I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to get all these gross themes.
I'm ready.
It's not
cringing.
as gross. So it's also anonymous from the same site. It says, my college boyfriend and I had just finished having sex, like you do in college, when I had a devastating realization. I don't think I took my tampon out before we started. I checked, no string. Where the fuck did my tampon go? It was nowhere to be found outside of my body, so it must be inside my body, like deep inside. A siren was going off in my head. Toxic shock syndrome. And then she keeps saying, TSS, 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 you're gonna die. For the next hour, I made my college boyfriend go spelunking for my tampon in the deep crevices of my female nether region. Flashlight and all, only to come to the realization that I had indeed removed the tampon and all was right in the world. Except for my college boyfriend. He never recovered, and we broke up a few months later. So this one had a sad ending. The other one, they got married. This one, that you couldn't recover from that. But I just like the spelunking of it and just making him, like, search with a flashlight. Like, is it in there?
I pictured him with, like, a really long needle nose pliers.
Oh my gosh, it's not a fish. No, I just see it like a fish mouth. Oh, God, that sounds terrible. That just reminds me of... I have my friend who is the x-ray technician, and she showed me I'm just thinking of the hook part.
Oh.
And she showed us an x-ray, and it was it showed it sideways. There was a crochet hook in this person's bladder because they thought it would be fun to try. And first of all, the way it was pictured meant they put hook first, which I would be holding on to the hook end.
I would have put anything in my urethra.
But I wouldn't want it anyways. And it was the girl's bladder. It wasn't the guy, but guys,
whoever does
guys
like
do that too.
Nothing against you. I just don't like how it feels, and I'm not going to do that.
You don't. Oh, so you've tried. You don't like how...
Well,
I'm kidding. But please write in and let us know the pleasure of it, because we don't know. But yeah, that's just what that reminded me of when you went into the fishing part of it all.
So then the sex position of the week is the wheelbarrow, and I feel like Shelley, who chose the position of the week, was just thinking of what are things that people do in porn and put it on here. So this picture wheelbarrow...
you've seen this in porn? Okay.
I'm not saying that. So the wheelbarrow, picture doing a wheelbarrow races like you had to do in like elementary school or middle school.
And you're pulling their legs, because some people hold on to the ankles, but you're pulling their legs all the way up until you can reach penetration.
And obviously, if you are more of a visual learner, just look at our pictures on social media. We'll have images and how-to.
Yep.
But you'll need a lot of upper body strength for both parties, especially the girl.
Yeah, the girl or whomever is on their hands with their feet in the air will need the upper body strength, and the person standing there holding on to them kind of needs all body strength because you're supporting with your legs. And I mean, I think it's a different position. There's a sex position where you sit, but you're still in that kind of like the person who's standing instead of sitting, but the girl still has her hands on the floor. But I guarantee you, there's a name for everything.
Yeah, try what you like. Let us know how it goes.
Start standing, and if it's not successful, take a seat. I'm excited to try that one. This is how we said we work out. Jeff has very nice muscles. I'm
picturing this working for all of like 5 seconds. And then being like, okay, we tried it.
Yeah.
And remember, everything we discussed is try at your own risk. We're not responsible for any injuries. And maybe warm up before you try this.
Our podcast comes out every Wednesday morning. Social media, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Couples Sutra, which is couples with a K, or email us at couplessutra@gmail.com. Email us your sex stories, sex positions, thoughts, issues you have questions on. Honestly, you can send us anything. We're also working on getting everything uploaded to YouTube. It will only be audio files right now. We're hoping in the future to do videos, but right now we just kind of want to claim a spot on YouTube, and we know some people don't have Spotify and Apple or any of the other listening sites on there, so we want to make it available to everybody. So keep an eye out for that. We don't have it set up yet. Other than that, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll talk to you all next week.
Have a great week.